You want to go for a ride? Get in there. Oh. Yeah. Ranger likes riding. You like riding? Morning, everybody. We're going to be working in the shop today. It's a nice windy Sunday morning. We got us a new project here in the shop. It's the wife's Jeep. It is a 2015 JKU Sport, and we've got some plans for it. We've had this Jeep for 10 years. We bought it new, and we've got a lot of modifications. We're going to do a build series on it. We've already got a 2.5-inch lift 35s on it, and just a few little bolt-ons, and that's about all we've ever done to it, except for put many miles on it. And we'll go over what our plans are today. But I think today we're just going to be taking our stock fenders and doing a little trimming on them, make them look a little bit better, give us a little bit more clearance. And I've already done the passenger side and got it all figured out, so I figured I'd make a video doing the driver's side. Now that I've got it all figured out, I can do a little better and I wouldn't look like an idiot. So we'll get going on that and talk about our plans and what we're going to be doing with this Jeep. You see what we got here. We had inner splash shield we had to take out, and it's all just little push clips. Guy needs to try to save those. We're going to reuse that inner splash shield, and but we have to cut it down a little bit because you can leave that out, but for the wheeling and stuff we do, I do not want all the water and mud and everything getting on the exhaust, motor, electronics, whatever. So we're going to reuse that. And then you have the structure that actually holds the outer fender. That actually holds it up. It bolts in. Got 10 millimeter head bolts. Goes on there. And then I always call this a fender flare because they call it a fender, but it has those silly clips there that are kind of a pain in the butt, but if you're careful with them, you can save them and reuse them. The easiest thing to do is to take these out of the fender. Some of them you can reach on the back side, and let's see if we can. We got a couple here. They have these little ears that you have to push in, where you can see this one has been broke. I did not do that just now. Taking it apart, it's been that way, and the fender was always floppy up here. But if you can reach on the back side, you can push these tabs in and remove them. If not, you can take a thin screwdriver here, if I can hold on to the camera. You can get between the fender flare and this back side of the clip. You can pull it out there and there. And it has these little dogs right here that go in to the little slots on the fender, and you can just pop them out. When you put this fender flare back on, you can push these in, take them all out of the body, put them all back in the fender, and the fender flare there, and you can just push it back on the body. Like these, they're kind of hard. Yeah, you can get behind them. But the one on the rear, you can't get to all the backside of these clips because the body has got double wall in there. But you can just get just enough room to get a thin screwdriver back behind it and push those ears in and pull them out. And I'm sure you can buy these too, but if you break too many of them, you can buy new ones. But we're trying to stay on lower end of the budget because we've got so many projects and things going on, and we're just not made of money. So one good thing to purchase, and I've struggled with this for years and finally bought one a while back, is one of these deals, and it's just a parts store brand. Man, that really helps getting them clips out of there, especially the push-pull ones. But we'll get to a little trimming, and I'll show you where we marked on this and where we cut out. We'll get to it. All right, so we got our tape laid out here, just a 1-inch painter's tape, making where we want to cut. And it's probably not perfect. It'll be close to matching the other side. We can always come back and trim it a little bit later if we need to. The reason I'm going 1 inch, I'm going to be cutting this side of the line. And some people probably cut up here, make it a total flat fender, but that really takes away from the structure of it. But we're going to go 1 inch down because we're going to be taking, you'll be losing the factory side marker light, and we're going to be going with a smaller one, and that 1 inch will give us just enough room to draw our 3/4 inch hole to put this light in there, so we can still have a side marker. And I've cut this. The other one I cut just a cheap old jigsaw with a wood blade on it, and did real good. And we'll get to cutting on this and see how it turns out. Alright, let's see how that looks. Get our tape off here. We've got a little transition places here we're going to have to massage a little bit, but you have little boogers on the ends. Best way I found to take them off is take your knife, scrape on them a little bit. That'll take the majority of it off. Piece of Scotch-Brite. Not Scotch-Brite, emery cloth. Idiot. I go over a little bit. Boogers off, sharpness off. I cut it down like this so I can leave this clip in there so it'll help give it a little stability. See what she looks like on the Jeep. Get a little bit of idea. Sit in there. About like so. Gives the guy a little extra clearance and doesn't look so bulky. Alright, let's set that aside. We'll cut on this inner fender a little bit. This one we can use the snips. We're not going to need this piece anymore, but we are going to leave this hole right here for a push pin to help hold it in. Cut it up here. That out of there. This side here, we're not going to need this whole section here. So we're going to take the Sawzall, bring it up to this corner here so we can leave this push pin to help hold. This will help, this piece right here will help keep all the mud and road grit and everything from going inside the body structure and behind the door frame and everything. And it kind of helps your body mount is right behind there too. If you don't have all that, you could wash the stuff out every time, but eventually it's going to rot your stuff out. The guy doesn't want that, so we're going to cut this real quick and I'll show you afterwards. This is what we took off. That piece is gone. Let's go see how she looks inside here. It's going to sit about like that. You can see that flap will still, it's a little dark in there. It'll still cover your inner body structure. I was talking about right here. You don't want all that shit getting back inside there and on your body mount. And that keeps everything from, most of that stuff from splashing in there on your exhaust and O2 sensor and the steering shaft and all that stuff. So we'll get we'll cut on that upper structure. It's a little different. All right, this upper structure bolts in with these bolts, and it bolts into this. There's an upper bracket on the body. It holds. This helps hold your fender up from sagging down because it's just floppy plastic. We're not going to need this bracket, this one, or this one. We're going to lob those off. This is what held the light, the side marker light, and you can tell that it's broke. Somebody went deer hunting with their Jeep and a few years back and smashed it and broke it. So no big deal. We're going to remedy all that. Blow the grid off this thing real quick. Alright, you might have seen I put the inner structure in before I put the fender flare on. Not supposed to do that, so I had to take it back off, swap a clip around, but one of the clips on this inner deal was missing, so we put the one broken one up here, put the missing one, or left the missing one up here, so we'll just put a bolt in this. I had to do the same on the other side. You can get to the nut real easy. We'll bolt that on. Got that all bolted in, so we'll get the inner splash guard mounted in there, and then we'll have to do something special down here because there's nothing to mount it anymore. So the other side, I end up taking a zip tie, looping through it back to the around the body mount, which is redneck, ghetto, whatever. It'll work. Nobody will ever see it except for you guys. Right here's what I was talking about. The flap needs something to hold it up in there. We're gonna poke a couple holes right here, run a zip tie around the body mount, get that secured, and then our next step is to put our side marker light. Drill a hole, put that in, and do our favorite thing, do a little wiring. That's always a favorite. Get out of there. You're nice and broke. Bye-bye. Alright, we got the inner structure put in with the zip tie. It'll hold. I'll probably get underneath there and pull on it, get a little bit tighter. And then we got the bolt in the front side. Got it all on there. And here's the issue with this. When you cut that out, you take away this lip and it went to this inner structure. It would help hold it. Well, now we're going to have a little bit of flopping going on, so I have not decided whether I want to come up, drill a couple holes up in here through this inner structure and put a black zip tie over it. I know it's going to be exposed to see it, or I mean, a guy could probably put some adhesive up in there to help hold that, but it's, you know, it'll never hold. Going down the highway, it may do some flopping. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But one thing I wanted to talk about real quick is something I do on everything to help myself. A little anti-seize on all your fasteners. It helps a guy out, because you never know, 6 months, a year, 2 years, you might be coming back in here and putting something different on here, changing stuff, and if you don't put it on there, you'll run into breaking bolts, shit golding up. Even if you don't plan on keeping it, maybe you'll be helping out the next guy that's working on this rig or whatever you're working on. Anti-seize is always your friend, so take that as you will. I always use anti-seize. All right, we got this side 99% done. Looks like a guy put a lift kit on it. It's all attached. This Jeep needs washed. It is nasty. It's sitting over in the barn, dust and birds and spiders and whatnot. But like I say, I already did the passenger side. I think they match fairly decent. Might be a little off, but we can always adjust that. So now we're going to get on to the back side. Rear openings. So those are a little bit harder to get the clips out, but you end up having to cut the bumper as well, because I want to cut it down right here and the bumper is going to be sticking out. So it's just plastic, and the guy has to lob it off too with a sawzall, and we'll show you that too. Let's get to it. Got the rear fender flare off. It's more of the same. Bunch of dumb clips. Kind of more of a pain than the front to get to all the clips. We only broke one. There's plenty of other ones to hold it. So let's get to cutting on this one. And I won't bore you with that, but I will show you how I cut the rear bumper cover. We'll get to cutting. Gonna apologize for the lighting back here in this corner. That's all we got. We make do here. But what I did was I put the fender flare up here. Didn't push it in, but I got it lined up where the inside of it, the lip, is going to be right here. So we're going to take the sawzall and cut this off. Like I say, this is all plastic inside here. You just got to watch your blade and not hit your body right here. But we took the inner fender well splash cover out, and I'm not going to put it back in. And if you can see right there is a bunch of rust from where that inner fender flap has held all the moisture and dirt in there. And so it's really not needed, so I'm going to leave it out. So we'll get to cutting on this. Alright, let's see, got that cut now, and it is in line with the flare on the back bumper cap, and that cavity goes back in there, and it's just all plastic. It can hold a lot of stuff, so what I think I'm going to do is come in with my stepper bit from the bottom and drill some holes back in there both sides, so we can hopefully some of this water and whatever will drain out of it. So we'll get to doing that, and we'll be wrapping this dude up. Alright, got our holes drilled 3 of them. There's another one back here in the back corner you can't quite see, but all the flares reinstalled, trimmed, and like I say, we're gonna do a little testing and see if we want to put a zip tie to help hold that a little tighter, but time will tell. We got our light installed there. Let's make sure that works before we finalize. Oh yeah, works nice. Works nice. Passenger side, more of the same. Got it drilled too. We got us a little more room, tire clearance. What we got planned for this deal is we're going to be doing. We started last year. Good friend of mine. He's got his own channel as well, 632 Adventures. You can go check him out. He talked me into going overlanding. I've never done it. I've seen it for years, and actually kind of made fun of it because I don't know. I enjoy camping out in the woods and four-wheeling and everything. I've just never done it together. We've always talked about doing stuff like that, but he talked me into going overlanding. We went on the Kentucky Adventure Tour trail, and it's 4 of us, 4 vehicles, and kind of did a guys weekend, and we had a blast. I did not take this Jeep. I took my Gladiator and took Ranger, my chocolate lab, with me, and I think the Jeep was muddier on the inside than it was the outside. But we had a blast, and my plan is to do that with this Jeep. But being it's a totally stock Jeep with no lockers and still has the factory gears in it, 321s, it needs help. So I've been stocking up on some parts to overhaul this Jeep to make it where it does a lot better off-road. So we have got a set of gears, 488s, front and rear install kits, and I have a front limited slip helical gear differential for it, and my next purchase will be the rear differential. Probably going to do another limited slip on it. I would really like to have lockers front and rear, but don't have the money for that. And then gears, differentials, probably some new ball joints, axle joints. I believe we're going to take these mall crawler stiffs off and build some rock sliders like I built on the CJ 5.5 out of the 2x4 square tubing. And it'll still serve as a little step, but it'll keep us off the rocks, or to keep the rocks off the body. And I'll probably do a front axle truss. This is just a Dana 30. I'll do some sway bar links, disconnects, and We just put a new radiator in it a couple weekends ago. That was a fun job. But we're gonna see about doing another overlanding trip this coming December. It's October now, so I'm gonna try to bust my butt and get it ready for that. So that's our video for today. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch us again next week. See ya.